Hello, everyone.
Yeah,
So this week I have the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Afsar Mohammad. He's a distinguished scholar of South Asian Islam and Sufi devotional practice, whose work focuses on lived religious traditions and Hindu-Muslim relations in South Asia. He's the author of the Festival of Pirs, the popular Islam and shared devotion in South India, which was published by Oxford University Press in 2013, a landmark ethnographic study that explores how local devotional practices and shared pilgrimage shape Muslim religious life and identity in the village of Gugudu. Is it right, Gugudu?
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he has several other books, but I am actually not mentioning all of them because this particular interview is actually based on this book. In addition to his work on Islam and vernacular religious culture, Dr. Muhammad is a poet and a literary scholar whose writings span South Asian literature and religious expression. And more than that, he's actually a friend of me for several years. Yeah, Dr. Afsar Mohammad, a warm welcome to this interview.
Thank you so much, Jose, for a generous introduction. So happy to see you here. It's a long time that we miss each other. And then it's always a pleasure to see you and then talk to you during the American Academy of Religions and then South Asia Conference in
Yeah,
Madison.
yeah.
So happy to see you. And then I would love to talk to you and then to your classes about this work, the Festival of Pirs.
Yeah. So for my first question is how do you introduce actually the book, The Festival of Pirs, to my students, or maybe anyone who is actually not specialized in maybe South Indian Islam, or maybe or even actually Sufism? How do you introduce it?
Yeah, thank you. So the idea in this book is to talk about how Islam works in a
Mm,
local context.
mm,
So we have numerous studies about global Islam,
mm,
particularly Islam that comes from Arab and Persian lands, but we don't have much about how Islam conducts and then works, organizes itself as a prominent religion in a system that has more either Hindus or Christians.
mm,
So my idea is to give a good sense of how Islam is in dialogue with these other religions.
mm,
That is one of the key concepts throughout my work
mm,
to understand Islam from the lens of the other. And then this book, The Festival of Pirs, focuses on one of the major public events
mm,
called Muharram,
mm,
the the first month of Islamic calendar.
mm,
But there are other reasons why I wanted to talk about this event. This is one of the important events where you can see the interactions between Islam, but in this case, in the case of South India, maybe very general South Asia,
mm,
it's also like the public event that actually speaks so much about the exchanges between Islam and non-Muslim religions.
mm,
So this is a as you already mentioned, an ethnographic work in a village called Gugudu
mm,
in South India.
mm,
This village, even though it's a very small place, but
mm.
it has tells about a big story.
Yeah, yeah.
So they they do this festival of peace. They call Moharram
Mm,
the public event in their
mm,
local religious system, the Festival of Pirs means
Mm.
the Festival of Saints.
Yeah.
So this event, even though it has like a lot of theological and religious implications in the case of Islam and its interactions with other sects within Islam,
Yeah.
but in the context of South India and in this village, this becomes more about popular sainthood practices,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, which I argued as this is the event that actually speaks about the mixture of Islam and Sufi practices.
Okay. Okay.
So there are other aspects that I wanted to talk about in this book, but most important for me is like to talk about this Hindu-Muslim exchanges.
Um,
And then as I argued in this book, most of these exchanges, they are defined by is also, which is actually known as like a mystical dimension of Islam.
yeah.
In this context, becomes a very practical tool
Yeah.
to understand Islam, Sufism, and also sainthood practices.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. So while you are actually explaining, I realized that I did not tell few more things about actually you to my audience because my students may not know you are actually from South India.
Mhm, mhm.
So, so your language, your first language is actually Telugu, not actually Urdu or any of the non the Islamic languages. And
Major
I also need to
component.
actually mention that you are basically a historian than actually a
Mhm.
theologian or a religious studies specialist. So all your work actually are
Theological.
in the history. So I think that also need to be actually mentioned
Mhm.
for my audience.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So that most of my students or all of my students are actually the Christians, and they always actually think that we cannot actually think about religion without priesthood, or there is actually a priest actually in Christianity. But
Mhm.
then we know that there is no priest actually in Islam. So my question is actually about this peer that you have actually used as the title of your book. So, what is the role of the peer actually in cultivating spiritual excellence or ihsan among participants in the festival? Or my
Mhm.
larger question will be actually, who are these religious professionals actually in Islam? What is the equivalent of actually priest, maybe actually Christian priest, maybe actually in an Islamic context, and who actually help the people to develop this moral, spiritual excellence in their daily life.
Very good question, actually, which is also again central in my work and also in this book. So the idea of peer means Muslim saint,
Mm-hmm.
that actually takes on multiple definitions and manifestations within local Islam, local religions,
Mm-hmm.
not just Islam, even within Hinduism, Christianity, and other religions also.
Mm-hmm.
If you like go to a place in South India, of course, you are familiar with this situation and setting. But if you go to that local place and reflect on it, and then also like even like a peripheral observation, like makes you realize that, oh yeah, this is something different from what we speak about, very global or like universal or general larger Islam.
Yeah.
So one thing that I wanted to emphasize throughout this work is like to understand these local manifestations of sainthood practice,
Mm-hmm.
which are very popular in local religions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like go to any South Indian village or some location, you see at least one or two Sufi shrines,
Yeah.
along with other shrines, Hindu
Mm-hmm.
and then Christian shrines.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to these Sufi shrines, you notice that the practices, storytelling, and the events, they are somewhat different from global Islam, global Sufism.
Mm.
So I wanted to understand how this difference works.
Okay, okay.
And then why, when they are talking about sainthood practices, of course, most discourses about sainthood practices, they are about spiritual and ethical excellence, right?
Mm.
So these saints are, in Islamic context, the pir is an embodiment
Yeah.
of these ethical values.
Yeah.
And then if you are talking, this is like a system, ethical system is something above any sectarian religion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you compare these practices with other religions like Hinduism or Christianity, you see that you find certain commonalities.
Yeah.
One of the prominent commonality is this ethical communication.
Yeah.
So the saint or peer in this context functions as a source of ethical communication.
Mm.
So people look at these peers and saints as a model
Mm.
to perform their own or reshape their own practices.
Mm.
So that is one big reason why I actually wanted to understand the nuances of these sainthood practices and then see how these sainthood practices, like in Christianity or Hinduism, become crucial in the making of a local religion. And then when I visited this place, this very small place, Gugudu, it was quite surprising for me. Like, oh yeah,
Mm.
how could this small place become such a huge pilgrim center?
Mm.
So the population of this village is 2000.
Okay.
But during 10 days public rituals of Muharram,
Mm-hmm.
at least 300,000 pilgrims
Wow. Wow.
visit this shrine
Mm.
and perform various rituals.
Okay, okay.
And then my question was like, what makes this such a huge pilgrim center?
Yeah.
So this is also something, of course, we need to think about. Like, oh, this is sainthood practice on the one hand, and also this is like a pilgrim center on the other hand. But above all, this is a very popular Sufi aspect.
Mm.
Even though these people, devotees and pilgrims, they are not familiar with larger Sufi concepts
Mm.
or any theological ideas.
Mm.
When they visit this shrine, when they participate in storytelling or rituals,
Mm.
they come closer to what we can call like Sufism,
Okay, okay.
that mysticism.
Yeah.
But my argument is that this mysticism is not just about spirituality.
Okay.
This mysticism is about their everyday life.
Yeah, yeah.
People like when they visit the shrine, they communicate, they talk to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
They let other communities, and particularly in South Asia, caste is like a
Yeah.
basic social category, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they allow or they communicate with other caste
Mm.
communities,
Mm.
and then they try to understand how do they operate,
Okay, okay.
and then organize their this ethical life.
Yeah.
based on the life story of this saint.
Yeah.
So there are three aspects, Jose,
Uh-huh.
within this um religious setting. One is the life story of the saint Pir.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The second is like how this life story engages with the larger religious
Mm.
networks. And then the last one is like how this saint promotes an idea of ethical paradigm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Of
Yeah.
course, there are other aspects as well. Like there are aspects of politics,
Yeah.
like and then resistance
Yeah.
and protest, because this peer becomes an alternative model for the caste groups. They were like marginalized for centuries,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then this peer actually offers them a space to make these people like use or like understand their spirituality. So
Yeah.
this is like something what we can call like I don't want to use the term what we call like subaltern,
Yeah.
but this is what happens. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is like spirituality from the below,
Yeah. That's right.
not
Yeah.
from somewhere like
Yeah.
in like in typical religions, like even in Hinduism and Christianity.
Yeah.
Uh, Spirituality is always something coming that comes from the above.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Of course, it is there, always there. But
Yeah.
what happens when it comes from the below,
Yeah. That's right.
from a
Yeah.
lower caste, the very small social category of this local system?
Yeah.
How does she or he understand this mystical dimension?
Mm.
That is very important, Jose.
That's right. Yeah. There is a follow-up question from both the answers that you give. So you use the
Mhm.
word global and local Islam. So maybe
Mhm.
many of my students may not be familiar with the definitions of these two terms. So and also we don't have any correspondent to that one actually in Christianity. That is not global Christianity versus local. We actually
Mhm.
um, denominations are there actually in Christianity, then which is no, there is no correspondence to that one in Islam.
Mhm.
So how do you
Mhm.
explain actually this local and global Islam? What is your definition of that?
That's one of the central arguments in the book, Jose. But rather than using global Islam,
Uh-huh.
I used the term localized Islam.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
So it should be the same in the case of Hinduism and Christianity as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when people, not sure how many people understand the implications of global religions.
Mm.
So they realize the importance of that particular religion only when it comes down to their local setting,
Okay, okay, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, it is not global Islam that is working there.
Mm.
It's an Islam that takes certain elements from global Islam
Mm.
and then localizes it.
Okay, okay.
For instance, the idea of pilgrimage.
Mm.
So in Islam, ultimate pilgrimage is going to Makkah.
Yeah.
But these people here in this context consider this as like their pilgrimage,
Yeah.
that their ultimate pilgrimage.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is equal to what like global Islam like considers as like the Hajj and then going all the way to Makkah.
Yeah.
But for these people, their Makkah is here
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now.
Okay, okay.
So that is still a global concept, but it is being communicated in terms of localized version of that
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it should be the same in the case of Hinduism and Christianity. You
Yeah.
have numerous Christian churches and sacred sites,
Yeah.
even within this site.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But the way they work, that is, they still have that global component.
Mm.
But more than that global component, they have this very localized
Manifest.
aspect.
Okay.
So when I was using this term, localized, but the other term I was using is local religion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So in localized Islam, you still
Mm.
have some global element.
Okay. 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 Okay.
But in local Islam, no.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
So it is like that religion from the below.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The culture around that local shrine
Mm-hmm.
that defines all these, what we can call, like in the case of Islam, we talk about these five pillars.
Mm.
All those five pillars, they are nothing to do with global Islam.
Okay. Okay.
So they are all defined by this religion from the below.
Mm.
So I wanted to like see the difference that it is there already there, but my work tries to like understand the difference. What is like what they take from global Islam and then how do they change it, and then that is localized Islam.
Yeah.
But what exactly is there within that local setting, that is local Islam.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the aspects, dimensions that I want to explore in this book was to show different aspects of that local identity.
Mm.
So, in that context, even the public event of Muharram, despite its global
Yeah.
importance,
Yeah.
here it becomes something local and then it's also renamed.
Yeah.
They don't call it Muharram. Sometimes
Okay.
Muslims still use Muharram, but
Yeah. Yeah.
non-Muslims and then the Muslims from other caste groups they use the Festival of Pirs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the Festival of Saints.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually wanted to see how that renaming
Yeah.
marks the importance of local Islam.
Okay. Okay. Thank
So
you.
all practices, all stories, all everything, whatever you call either spiritual or practical, they all center on this
Yeah.
localness of
Yeah.
Islam.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. My I actually wanted to ask you a question about the meaning making system actually surrounded with this festival of the Pirs, or maybe surrounded with this local Islam. But I think you already answered that one. You said that the Pir is actually ethical exemplifier. That he's the model of ethical behavior. You also said that he also actually give an alternative vision of the politics and the culture and
Mhm.
everything. I don't know whether you want to add anything more about the meaning making that this festival of the Pirs actually contribute to its followers, or maybe the people who participate in that one. Or maybe my general question is actually the meaning making that any peer can actually offer to his devotees.
Yeah, so there are quite interesting aspects within the definition of this local peer.
Mm,
Because one thing that happens is like in Islam, global Islam, you are not supposed to associate the identity of divine
yeah.
with the other aspects.
Mm,
So there is only one God.
yeah.
That is a very basic concept
Yeah.
in Islam, right?
Yeah.
There is no God. There is no God but God, right?
Yeah.
Allah is the supreme authority,
Yeah.
so whether it is spiritual or something else,
Yeah.
right? But in Hinduism, you don't have that kind of
Yeah.
ultimate authority.
Yeah.
So Hinduism, in many ways, uh, lot of the way they worship multiple deities,
Mm,
that makes Hinduism a different religion, right?
yeah.
So, but in this context, the peer is considered to be the the God.
Mm-hmm.
So that is quite, there's actually a controversy right now in these local sites. Like,
Mm.
okay, oh yeah, this is not like Islamic.
Okay.
This is totally against
Yeah.
Islam. And
Yeah.
then you can't say, oh yeah, all that's the reason why we have a lot of debate about the value of Sufi shrines
Mm.
or the importance of Sufi saints.
Mm.
There is a tension between global localized Islam and also this local Islam.
Mm.
Because local Islam increasingly supports the idea of local
Mm.
saint.
Mm.
For some people, particularly non-Muslim devotees and pilgrims,
Mm.
these this there are also female saints, of course.
Okay. Okay.
This local saint or local peer is equivalent to God.
Yeah.
So this is actually a lot of stories about like
Yeah.
how you can you associate or equate
Yeah.
the status of peer with very like the larger supreme authority of Allah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, one that is one aspect where what we learn from the interactions between local Islam and Hinduism.
Okay. Okay.
Then there are stories, numerous stories, even like stories related to like Hindu saints
Mm-hmm.
who were like influenced by Muslim saints.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are like, but what I see here is like the stress on uh, locating saint at the center of resistance
Mm-hmm.
and protest. So
Okay. Okay.
this is this is still a very Islamic idea, but the way Peer operates within this setting is like a counter narrative to dominant or what you can call mainstream
Yeah.
religions. Sometimes
Okay.
this also challenges other religions. Like
Yeah.
uh, so, so this is this setting itself, like a you see a lot of tensions when you visit shrines like this.
Yeah.
So also like the new generation, like from both religions,
Yeah.
also Christianity, they are like very much into this local Islam version of localized religion.
Yeah.
So they want to like look at the religion from the above,
Yeah. Yeah.
not from the below.
Okay. Okay.
So in that sense, peer sometimes becomes a contentious
Mm.
concept.
Yeah. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, my next question is actually on that one. So, yeah, as you know, my doctoral work was actually on a Vakka Maulavi. He's known as a reformist or maybe actually a modernist. And
Mhm.
one of the things that he did is, in his writing was actually a complete rejection of what is known as Sufism or
Mhm.
local Islam. So, my question is, you also actually mentioned this one in your book about actually
Mhm.
how modernists actually reject. So,
Right.
how do you understand actually the critique of the modernists? So, are they the representatives of global Islam, or is it the reason why they actually reject this one?
Yeah, that's a good question, which is actually so relevant in contemporary setting and then
Mm,
religious environment.
yeah,
One thing, Jose, most Sufi shrines, uh, they are debatable now
yeah,
for various reasons.
mm,
As you mentioned already, reformism,
mm,
modernity, and
mm,
then there is a constant effort to insert global ideas of religions. It's
yeah,
happening on every front,
that's right.
not just about Islam,
Yeah,
right? But reformism at some point in the history of local Islam, around 1900 or something like that, Reformism, in many ways, used the tool of Sufism.
Oh, okay.
Uh, if I speak about Telugu,
Mm.
particularly Telugu
Uh-huh.
local culture, so
Mm.
Sufism was one of the tools
Uh-huh.
to promote reformism, social
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
even religious reformism.
Mm-hmm.
But gradually, the definition of reformism changed so much.
Okay, okay, okay.
So when you arrive at 1990s in South Asia,
Mm-hmm.
because you have this new idea of Hindu nationalism,
Mm.
so there started an effort to reconstruct the idea of reformism.
Mm-hmm.
So this reformism is being defined from the lens of global religions.
Yeah.
So, what do you learn from larger concepts of Islam? Like everything they want to fit in that idea of five pillars, right?
Yeah.
So, starting with the prayer, Quranic recitations,
Yeah, yeah.
pilgrimage, and then also like fasting, all these things. They want to fit everything into that model of five pillars.
Yeah.
But in a local context,
Mm-hmm.
there is no way that they can fulfill all these five
Okay, okay, okay.
obligations, right?
Mm.
So they make changes. Constantly, they make changes.
Mm.
So change is constant there.
Mm.
But reformists, they stick to the idea of global Islam,
Yeah.
or they just want to promote this like localized aspects of global Islam.
Yeah.
So even now, when they speak about pilgrimage, they speak about Hajj going to
Yeah.
all the way to Mecca.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the communities within a Sufi shrine, that is not their belief system.
Okay, okay.
So for them, of course, this has some implications with the economy. So
Yeah.
most of the caste groups that visit these shrines, they don't have enough economic resources.
Yeah.
They come from the marginalized, underprivileged caste groups, right? For them, there is no way that they can go all the way to Mecca to
Yeah.
perform this ultimate obligation
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
pilgrimage.
Yeah.
So the only alternate they have is this immediate shrine.
Yeah.
Of course, for even like within this, there is also hierarchy there. Like okay,
Mm.
so some locations of Sufi shrines, they are considered to be highly powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some not.
Yeah.
So people like very commonly they go to those powerful shrines
Yeah.
and then perform their pilgrimage there.
Yeah.
So this is still like modeled after that ultimate obligatory practice of Hajj
Mm.
in global Islam.
Okay, okay.
So reformists don't accept this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't equate the Hajj with
That's
this
right. So
local
there's a blueprint
local
of
pilgrimage.
Islam and
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so many other things happen. Like okay, for reformists, a learning system founded on Arabic and even Persian
Yeah.
or some Islamic languages. Of course, I don't believe in that idea of languages being associated with some religion.
Mm.
So they center the value of Arabic, Farsi, and Urdu
Mm.
at every storytelling,
Yeah.
Quranic recitations, or any practices.
Yeah.
So, but that is not what happens in
Yeah.
local setting, right? People,
Yeah.
they use local language all the
Yeah.
time. Most
Yeah.
Muslims, they speak local language.
Yeah.
Their engagements with global languages, Islamic languages, is like it's an element that has some class because only middle class, upper class, they could engage with those languages
Yeah.
because they go to schools like Muslim Islamic schools and learn
Yeah.
something there. Or if they have some background, like the ancestors are elderly people. So it is something to do with class there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for lower class people, there is no access to Arabic and
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, Urdu, even Urdu.
Yeah.
It is the same case with Hinduism, right?
Yeah.
Like which is almost conceptual aspects are taken from Sanskrit. But how
Sanskrit.
many people speak or read Sanskrit
Mm.
in South Asia? So it's the
Yeah.
same case, right? So
Yeah.
the reformists deny the importance of vernacular languages,
Mm.
and then that makes them, in many ways, blind to local practices.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer in the idea of vernacular in that sense, like where
Yeah.
you can see not just language, but most practices they are just vernacular, very
That's
local.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Afsar Mohammad, my last question is actually on the
Mhm.
implication of your study for the study of Islam itself. That means, you know that wherever you teach, whether in a university or a college or in a seminary, we have an introduction to Islam book. That's the book that we follow in order to actually
Right,
teach Islam. So that means
right.
there is no difference whether you actually study in this university or that university. You study
Mhm.
actually the same thing. So in that, when you actually study Islam actually from a book like that, what you actually miss is what you explained as the localized Islam and also local Islam. Both actually you miss. So
Mhm.
my question is, what is the implications of your studies like this, especially your insistence actually on a vernacular tradition, local traditions for the study of
Mhm.
Islam? How can we actually understand Islam or study Islam? Or what is the problem of studying actually Islam without any reference to
Mhm.
this localized or local Islam?
Just you teach so many a wide variety of courses. Also, been teaching for so many years. You are pretty familiar with this situation. Like when you teach a course on Introduction to Islam or Introduction to like South Asian religions, no doubt you got to teach some materials that speak about broader
Yeah,
religions. You got to introduce religious texts
yeah,
that address the main ideals of global Islam or Hinduism or Christianity, no doubt
mm,
about it.
mm,
But the learning system, like in academic institutions, so far, it is confined to very general framework of Arabic, Farsi, and then
mm,
Islamic languages,
yeah,
right? But my question is, if you want to provide a general understanding of any religion,
mm,
it is not sufficient to use those mainstream
okay,
materials from those sacred languages.
mm,
You got to go beyond them because
yeah,
the new generation students,
mm,
they are open to this multiplicity and diversity in
mm,
learning.
yeah,
Because you like social life, in everyday life, you see people like coming from different backgrounds and then participating in different, a diverse set of rituals,
mm,
storytelling, right?
yeah,
So when you just use those limited resources from Arabic, Farsi, or something else,
mm,
so that study is incomplete.
yeah,
So you need something from the very local setting where
yeah,
exactly these people are coming.
yeah,
For instance, you have like an introduction to Islam class. If you have students coming from South Asia, or Asia or like African countries or just US students,
Yeah.
uh, even though they have some Islamic or Hindu background or something like Christian background from
Yeah.
different denominations.
Mm.
So if you don't introduce the material from vernacular,
Mm.
there is no way that they get a complete picture
Okay.
of that particular religion, how
Mm.
that religion is changing in contemporary
Mm.
setting,
Yeah.
how practices are like being defined by temporal and then spatial changes,
Mm.
and then how communities they're engaging with these religions.
Yeah.
So the idea in particularly like US academia, I think back home like South Asia as well,
Yeah.
I believe in diversity,
Yeah.
multiplicity,
Mm.
multiculturalism,
Yeah.
multilingualism.
Yeah.
So most materials, even though we are supposed to introduce like mainstream texts, and then we are supposed to speak about mainstream practices, it's equally important to introduce what is happening on the ground
Mm.
in the field. So that knowledge from field is so important in
Yes.
contemporary life.
Yeah.
So that's my goal actually. Even like in whether I go to class or I teach, whether I teach here or back in India, or whether I write from audience from here or like back in South Asia,
Mm.
I try to bring this idea of diversity, multiculturalism, multilingualism into my teaching.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Afsar
Thank you.
Mohammad. Yeah, it was a very insightful interview. It's as you mentioned, it is not very easy to actually find people who are
Mhm.
actually
Mhm.
non-Arabic, non-Persian, non-Urdu speakers to
Right, right.
talk about
Mhm.
Islam. It's not at all easy to find. Thank you so much
Right.
for
Thank you
sparing
so
your
much for
valuable
this
time.
opportunity, Jose. I
Yeah,
hope your students are going to enjoy. And
yeah.
then I will be happy to take questions if there is an opportunity.
Sure, sure. I will provide your email address to them. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Great. Have a good day.